So here we are on 280. There's a huge water crossing. Richard's scared. So I got to do it, I guess. And I think this is definitely get your feet wet one because there's huge boulders. I don't know where to go. This kind of sucks. And here comes Richard. That wasn't actually that bad. He's bouncing through. That wasn't that bad. Oh, we have another water crossing. Oh, going upstream. Oh yeah. Here we go, people camping back there. That was deep mud. So I've had the video off for a bit because I only have 2 batteries. So I figured save it till something interesting. And the water crossing was pretty neat, even though it wasn't as bad as it looked. All the eddies, ripples looked made it look really gnarly. But that's the thing, you don't know if there's a huge boulder or a dip. Your tire's gonna get stuck. But I was actually surprised it wasn't deep and it was actually smoother than I thought it would have been. So that was good. So this is pretty much what the roads have been like up to that point. Kind of these wide roads. Like so wide, you definitely bring some equipment back here or a large vehicle, camper possibly, especially if you have like a expedition. Okay, so we need to go down to 280 and then come back to do 290. And my Garmin GPS occasionally, for whatever reason, does that whole, hey, external battery died, do you want to continue? And it's like, no shit. Bitched about that yesterday. Garmin's nice units, but they seem to have their quirks about stuff like that. It's like, can I just set that so it just never ask you? It should have a checkbox like, do you want to see this message again? Even if it's like per ride, I could deal with that. Per time that it's on. I mean, worst case is, so what? Run off its internal battery. Why do you have to tell me external's disconnected? I don't really care. I don't even know what you're talking about because you should be running right off the bike. Either way. I mean, I do have a little 12-volt battery just to run that. I used to run a cooling fan, but I have aftermarket radiators, and they're a copy of, they're just Chinese knockoffs, or a copy of Flowdyne, and you can't fit the radiator or the fan in that spot. And they seem to be working fine. I haven't had anything overheat. Of course, this bike has a reservoir to catch the overrun, the overfill as it's heating up and it expands and goes into the reservoir, and cools, it goes back into the radiator, which is cool. I mean, it has a little tank, so it's not like the gas. A race bike that doesn't have that, and you're kind of shit out of luck. You know, if it pisses out, it pisses out. Some people hook up like a water bottle to their bike and find a spot to attach it, and just that way you're catching it, the coolant, and then it will suck it back in, and there you go, you have a little bottle. A race bike, they don't care, you know. It overheats, it kind of spews everywhere. Oh well. Man, look at that view, and there's the water we crossed. Continues down the valley. Those clouds look pretty nasty, so who knows how much we'll be able to map today. So this might actually be a 2-trip mapping, but hell, we have a ton of it done. And it's really an experiment also to know how many trips, and obviously unpredictable with bikes and whatnot. So we have some companies interested in having us come like map a system like this and put their logo on the map, and you know, it's good advertisement for them. It's good for the community because maybe somebody has these trails maps, but no one's sharing the files. So, you know, when I kind of mentioned mapping to some people, they were like, well, talk to so-and-so. It's like, no, because every time it becomes this like, so-and-so has done a lot of tracks, but they don't understand, like, well, if you don't share them, the tracks are useless. They are utter useless if you're not sharing the track. I mean, if they're for your own thing, that's good, but when people know you've kind of gone out and explored and done stuff, and supposedly a guy has tracks, it's are you doing that for the community, just for yourself? I mean, well, what's the deal? This is a map system. We're just doing the wagon wheel. So it's like 250 miles of trails. And, you know, that will really help the community out, because they'll be able to say, hey, look, here are the trails, and people can view that on a map, online interactive map, and then they can also zoom in and satellite imagery and just see what there is. And with the videos, the idea behind the videos is to show trails. Also provides documentation of trails as far as, I mean, you can see, obviously we're here when it's has rained, so you can see, like, there's a gate there, right? So possibly near 8, the main road, there's a gate that they can close. Before service, that is. So see, it's just good to have stuff like that. So there's a, God, I got a bug in my ear. Why me? Why? Oh, it's just a fucking bug in my ear again. Jesus. It's about. And you know, it's kind of funny. Like, the bugs love finding, like, your ears. At least it seems like they're kind of like, they're out of the wind, you know. Kind of crawl around. That's the worst, because they're crawling around, and it's like, hey, get out from my ear, please. It's just annoying. Just had a bug hit me in the cheek. You know, like I said, bugs this year they're just relentless. I've lived in Colorado since 2007, and It's only been a few times I've had issues with bugs, and this year, it's just seems non-stop out here. I might actually bring my full face helmet, street helmet, for the event if it's still like this.